making biscuits this morning in honor of someone really sweet in Lucy's life.
We certainly are. We're always excited to have Lucy here in our kitchen. Since day one of Studio 10, you have been with us here, so we consider you family, and we have to talk a little bit about your family this morning.
Yes, like Chelsea said, we lost our beloved grandmother, Posey, who's been on the show before, and I've made so many of her recipes. Her pound cake was so popular on the show, and she passed away at 94. She just had her 94th birthday a couple weeks ago, and so my mom said, why don't you do Posey's Biscuits on TV today? So it's always fun to share family recipes, and of course everybody always asks, do you come up with all those recipes? So most of them I do, but I love sharing family recipes, and George, who we talked about earlier, the Foxton maintenance guy, is in the wings here because he is always saying, do biscuits, do homemade biscuits. So I'm here today doing Posey's Biscuits, and it's just a recipe she always made. And I didn't know, you don't think of your grandparents as being younger, or you're really your parents, growing up. And my mom said yesterday, Posey made these all the time when she was growing up. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you just don't realize how far back some recipes go. But it was definitely a recipe that she always made for us. And I went by my mom's house yesterday, and I got her little biscuit cutter. So this is the one that she used. She lived with my parents for the last 10 years, which, was a struggle at times for mom and dad, but certainly a blessing. So anyway.
Well, 94 years, a life well led for sure. Let me take the moment to say that our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family.
Thank you.
You did send Chastity and I a picture. I forgot. Maybe we can show that toward the end of the show in the last segment. We'll see if we can get that on air. I'll send it to our producer, Allison. But it was when Posey joined us on the show before. So like we said, it's so great to have you all as part of the family, and then that's what Greer's too is all about too. It's a family tradition for so many years.
It is. We're celebrating our 106th year, 106 this year. So we're definitely blessed in a lot of different ways. So I'll just do the dry ingredients before we go to break. So I started with 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I just added 8 teaspoons of baking powder, and I added 1 teaspoon of salt. And Posey was, the biggest sweet tooth you've ever seen in a person. So she added quite a bit of sugar to this recipe, even though it's a savory biscuit. But the great thing about this recipe is that it's awesome for strawberry shortcake, but it's also, just a regular traditional biscuit as well. So I added 4 tablespoons of sugar in there. So we're just going to sift these ingredients together, and then we'll keep working on the rest of it.
So for the folks at home, if they want to add this amount of sugar, great. If they want to try a little less, they can do that too.
Yeah, they definitely can. You could cut it in half, actually.
All right, sounds good. Posey's Biscuits in the Studio 10 kitchen this morning. Can't wait to see how they turn out. We already see those there. We know they look absolutely fantastic. Chelsea.
Oh, I know that's a sweet recipe. So thankful for Lucy to have her on the show this morning making something really sweet. Oh, we are back on. We're having a conversation. We're having a conversation. Welcome back to Studio 10. Me and Lucy are obviously very into the conversation we were having, but thankful that you're with us today. Happy Wednesday. Lucy is live with us this morning making something really sweet.
We are. We're making Posey's Biscuits, which Posey is my grandmother that we've talked a lot about, and she's even been on here before. So she just passed away at 94, and actually it was a really sweet time that this happened. Because it's always just, the circle of life is so interesting. And my cousin just had her first baby. My cousin Sarah's in the hospital right now, and they're watching. She just had her firstborn, Shep, yesterday. She and her husband, Jeremy. And we have been praying for this baby for, they probably have an exact number of days, but at least 7 years. And so Posey passed away on Friday, and baby Shep was just born yesterday. So, just life has a way of, giving us blessings, and, our family is very close and very special, and we always, everybody wants to know what we're having, when we're having. If we're having breakfast, we want to know what we're having for lunch, what we're having for supper.
Right.
You know, when we plan family gatherings, it's like, what are we going to eat? And this is my mother's side of the family that we're talking about. And so anyway, I just love to share family recipes, and we're just, you know, we just have a lot of blessings, and it's really easy to get caught up in, you know, the negativity and all the bad things going on, but both sides of my families are very positive people, and it's hard, but we try.
So sweet. Well, our thoughts and prayers obviously with you guys.
Thank
it's tough,
you.
but it's so good to have some exciting news to look forward to too. So congratulations to your cousin on that sweet baby ship. Can't wait to see pictures here.
I know. I'll have to share
a little bit later. But we are making Posey's Biscuits in honor of Lucy's grandmother this morning, and so you've already done the dry ingredients. It looks like you added some cream cheese.
Yep. Well, it looked like cream cheese.
Oh, is it not?
It is not. It was.
What is it? Oh, George is about to.
Oh, George is back there. Hey, he had to come over and ask too. So this was shortening. So she used Crisco, and this was just 1 cup of Crisco. And I am just mixing it in with a fork. And you just want to. I mean, you can use a pastry cutter if you have one. If not, just use a fork. And I'm just cutting it in, and you just want it to be about the size of peas, and you can even use your fingers if you want to, just to break it up, just to, you know, into kind of little pieces like that. And then the last ingredient that we're going to put in is the milk. So I have 1 1/3 cup milk, and so I'm just gonna start pouring that in, and I just have some more on standby in case, you know, you may need to add a little bit more just to get it all the way combined, and then we're gonna roll it out.
Well, you were just telling me earlier, you and George like to eat the biscuit dough, which I've never heard, and I'm sure every Southern man or woman just yelled at me for calling shortening cream cheese, but you like to kind of snack on the dough?
I eat any dough. I'm a weirdo. Cookie dough, biscuit dough. If I'm making something, I got to taste that batter of the dough. I'm weird. So yeah, and I was telling y'all earlier, like this biscuit dough, and on my grandmother's recipe, like it was 2 or 4 teaspoons of sugar, and she scratched out teaspoon and put tablespoon. This woman she was crazy on sweets.
Oh,
so you know, you can cut it back if you want to.
That's so sweet.
And if you want to take a bite of the dough, you certainly can.
All right, well, we will have to do that, I guess, with Lucy and our maintenance guy George here coming up on the show. Before we go, real quick, a new ad drop today for Greer's.
Yes, always on Wednesdays. So and I just got the daily kitchen special from our downtown store. It's grilled mahi-mahi with cilantro, rice, and fresh green beans. It looks so good. So if you haven't made lunch plans and you're downtown, go check out our new store and have lunch. Okay, well, make sure you do that. It's super nice and great. I mean, really great food. I'm always impressed with the food there, but especially when I get to see something pop up on my timeline, because you guys are good at social media as well. So we're going to keep you updated on Posey's Biscuits and updated on Greer's coming up with Joe next. Joe.
All right, can't wait to keep working on that. Welcome back into our cooking segment alongside Lucy. If you missed us earlier in the show, we are celebrating the life of Lucy's grandmother, Posey.
We are, and we're making her biscuits today. So I have her biscuit cutter, which I told you. She always made these. Okay, so I'm just rolling it out. So I'll just kind of tell everybody about the dough first, and then we'll keep talking. But this was just a simple dough. So it's just all-purpose flour, baking powder, salt, sugar, Crisco, and milk. And so I'm just rolling it out now on a floured surface, of course. And biscuits are funny. I mean, you know, there's a lot of different, George was asking, you know, well, these are kind of short, you know, and sometimes they're really thick. I mean, they're just, biscuits are kind of like gumbo. There's just a million different ways to make it. So hers were like this, just kind of on the shorter side, and she spread them out when she baked them, which is what we're going to do on this pan. But if you put them together, close together, they'll rise a little bit more for you. But anyway, and you can also roll them out to, you know, to be on the thinner side, depending on your cookie cutter. This is a really short cookie cutter, so we have to roll it out to about a 1/4 inch thick. So it just, It depends, but the good thing about biscuits, like what I was telling Chelsea, is, I mean, they're biscuits. It doesn't matter if they're perfect. Like, they're still going to taste good. So,
I think that's a famous quote. The good thing about biscuits is they're biscuits. I think everyone agrees with that.
Hey, I'm going to make that into a t-shirt and wear it next time.
You should.
Just giving me grief.
I want one of those t-shirts. I like that. All right, so we're using her classic biscuit cutter.
Yes, I told my mom, like, where's that biscuit cutter? It had like the ridges on the side, and so she pulled it out for me. And we're going to bake these at a super hot temperature, 450, and just for about 10 or 12 minutes. And you know, you're more than welcome to brush it with a little bit of milk or cream and get a really nice even brown, or you could just, you know, toss them in here and it's going to get a nice golden brown anyway. So just really simple recipe, and it's really good for strawberry shortcake, which we really like to do in our family.
I love a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit in the morning. You could do that for Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, hey, we wanted to show, we did have that picture you sent out before we go. Now, it's just a screenshot of, you took it over the screen, so it's not a perfect photo here. But yeah, take a look at this. So this was from a while ago. Do we remember what Posey was showing off?
I think it was Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I think it was Mother's Day, because there's my mom, and there's Posey, and my mom has a sister, Nanny. I made her orzo, remember, last week.
Yeah.
And then my mom, they also have a brother, Trotter, and Posey had 8 granddaughters.
Great stuff.
So we are certainly enjoying sending pictures and videos of her in our group text, and just missing her, but you know, we're happy we had her.
All right, love you, friend.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Studio 10.